Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Nick Bester. I'm a 220 marathoner and running coach, and I hope you've had an incredible start to 2024. If you have, amazing, keep it going. If you haven't, don't worry. I've got 7 easy tips to improve your running this year that I'll share with you, and hopefully they can help you take your running to the next level. Here they are. Okay, tip number 1, follow a plan and train to structure. So the easiest way to do this is by getting a running coach. If you can afford one, I highly recommend it. What a coach does is they'll plan your sessions for you weekly or monthly. They should add quite a bit of structure to your training, and most importantly, they hold you accountable. So you want to show up for yourself, but you want to show up to show your coach that you're really putting in the work. They're obviously keeping an eye on your training and will help you guide you through the process. However, if you cannot afford a running coach can be luxury, then there are training guides available. I offer low-cost training guides, and pretty much that, once again, you'll follow a plan. If you cannot afford those, there's also free guides online, but the point of this is to approach your week with a plan. Plan your week ahead, know exactly what your easy days are going to be, what your harder days are going to be. Get stuck into that routine and it'll start becoming second nature, and that's when you'll start seeing the results. Follow a structure, follow a plan. Tip number 2, track your training and make notes for post-session analysis. So what I mean by this is a lot of us will finish our runs will upload to Strava. Amazing. Strava is great because it gives you all your training in one place. You can go back and look at certain things, but I'm in a position where I want to try and reach 5k PB again. I did that around 2 years ago, and now what I'm going to do is go back to see what I did 2 years ago. So use it as a personal training diary. Make little notes, what went well, what didn't go well, exactly how you felt, because in running you go through phases, you go through ups and downs. Sometimes you run a lot quicker than you think, sometimes you think you do a much better performance than you actually did, but you don't. And it's always good to go back and look at training and think, okay, cool, this is what I was doing during that time. At that time when I did my 5k PB, I didn't even realize how important it was that I was recording this training, but now looking back at it, I'm very, very thankful I did. And so I encourage the same for you. Don't just run with a purpose, and after that analyze exactly how it went so you can go back and have that data available to you whenever you want to go back and look at it. Okay, tip number 3, get a running watch or a tracking device that allows you to build workouts. So I've got a Garmin Forerunner watch, highly recommend it, big fan. But what I mean by that is, especially on your session days, your track or interval sessions, your tempo sessions, your long run with quality in it, things like 2x5k, 3x5k, so on and so forth, you want those workouts to be built before you head out for your run. So basically, when I approach those sessions, I know my watch is going to beep before the rep starts, and it's going to beep towards the end of the rep, and I know exactly sort of, what to look for. So I know before I head out for a session exactly what is programmed into my watch, and it'll beep just before the rep starts, and it'll give me about 5 seconds warning before the rep finishes, 5 seconds warning before the next rep starts. And what that does is allow you to really focus and dial your mind in on the running within the harder sections. So basically, you don't want to keep having to look at your watch every 5 seconds to think, I need to lap it, when's it going to end, when's it coming up to 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1k, whatever the case is. Let your watch do that for you so you can focus for the task at hand. In those harder sessions, it's business time, right? There's time for fun and games in the week, and that's amazing. You must have fun and games. But when it comes to business time, you really need to dial in the mind to hit those levels, and it's much easier when you have your watch telling you what to do, and you can focus on form, look ahead, really, think about the things that motivate you in order to hit those levels rather than constantly looking at your watch. So get a watch or a fitness tracker that allows you to build those workouts, and that'll allow you to fully focus on your task at hand. Okay, tip number 4, mentally prepare for those harder sessions. So a lot of our lives it's crazy, it's busy, we have work, family, life commitments. Often things can get a little bit overwhelming, and when you approach one of your harder sessions, which is where the magic is made, in a bad mental state, it really can be a drag. You're always fighting demons that are popping up, telling you to slow down, you can't do another rep, you're going too fast, so on and so forth. So you need to make sure your mind is in the right place to be able to handle those that come along with the harder days and training that you put in. So I always encourage you to take 5 or 10 minutes before your session, even if it's early in the morning, just listen to a song or listen to 2 songs, get in the zone, and know that you're going to put your body through pain in a good, productive way in order to move forward. That way you're more prepared, and when those painful parts come, it's not a complete surprise. You can be like, I've prepared for this, and it just allows you to be able to handle the session so much more. If you don't prepare for those sessions, when those hard parts come, they really can throw you off your game. So that 5 to 10 minutes of mental preparation before your sessions can go such a long way, especially in ensuring that it's a productive session and you're hitting the high levels that you want to. Tip number 5, finish off each run with 10 jump squats, 12 jump lunges, and about 10 calf raises on each leg. So this is something I've done probably for the last 4 years of my running career. I've been running for 11 years now, and it didn't make a difference overnight, but all the small pieces add up over time, and it's incredible how much it's added up, and it's a big reason to how I've been able to remain injury free over the last 4 to 5 years. So whenever I finish a run, I do 10 jump squats, 12 jump lunges, and 10 calf raises on each leg, and it just takes about, not even 5 minutes after your run. I've built it into my routine. It's part of my run now, and it all adds up, and it helps you build those muscles that you need to in order to remain injury free. I highly recommend doing a weighted session, a loaded session once a week, and try and do that on your harder days. But these little bits in between, get them in after every single run. The only time I don't do it is 1, if I have a race the next day and I want to be super fresh, or 2, if I know I'm doing a weighted strength session that day. Get it done. Trust me, it won't make a difference overnight, but by consistently doing it, it goes a very long way. Tip number 6, get that recovery protein in as quick as you can after your harder sessions, especially, okay? You got around a half an hour window from once you finish your session to get that protein in. Once you get that protein in, your body's absorbing it, it's going to your muscles, it's starting your muscle regeneration, it's giving fuel to your muscles in order to build, recover, and get you going the next day. So, like I said, you got a half an hour window, but the sooner you can get it in, the better. I realized just how important this was when I watched videos of elite runners. A lot of them, before they would even talk to the camera, they would go finish their session, get their protein recovery in, and then say a few words to the camera. So for me, as soon as I finish my run, I normally put it on Strava, update a description, so on and so forth, but I'll make sure I actually have my protein recovery shake even before I've updated Strava, and that's saying a lot. And what that does, like I said, is it just allows the recovery process to take place a bit quicker, and you really soaking up the benefits, especially when pushing in those harder days. So I always aim for around 22 to 24 grams of protein on a harder day and slightly less on an easier day, but I always try and get a significant amount of protein in order to allow my body to regenerate for the next session to come. Tip number 7, and probably one of the most important of them all, remember to have fun. Okay, running, it's a choice, it's not an obligation. It can be so tough sometimes, and a lot of us get obsessed with times, and sometimes it can take the enjoyment benefits out of it. But remember, you do it as a choice. There's so many mental and physical benefits that the sport gives you, and at the end of the day, if you're lucky and privileged enough to run, you really need to soak it up and enjoy every second. If you look at Kipchoge, when he's in pain, he smiles, and I encourage you to do the same. Often when I'm in a bit of pain within a session and I'm thinking, why am I doing this to myself? It's hurting me. Like, just take it easier. You don't need to do this. And you just take a big deep breath, you smile, and you realize just how lucky you are to be able to do this. Then it really makes it more enjoyable. And what I've found in the past is that when you're enjoying your running and a happy runner, often that's when the PBs come, and that's when you start performing your best. So enjoy it, soak it up. You're lucky enough to do it. That's it, guys. Those are my 7 easy tips to improve in 2024. I really hope they can help you and they can take you running to the next level. If you have any questions, just shout. Together we grow. Let's go get it. Boom, shakalaka. Let's go.
Check it. You're 21 and you never had this feeling. Check it, folks, it's not the end, so just keep breathing.